For nearly 1,000 years, the monarchy has cultivated this air of mystique and magic as well.
It certainly has. The pomp and pageantry has delighted, the divine rights have divided, and now with an estranged prince living in Montecito, the smoke and mirrors of the institution are slowly coming undone.
In a hospital in California, a dancing Duke and Duchess. Meghan and Harry twerking in the delivery room. It's a far cry from how we're used to seeing the royals. Kate and Diana introduced their children to the world on the steps of the Lindo Wing, while Meghan and Harry chose privacy when it came to their children, until now.
Let's go.
Since launching her Instagram, the Duchess has peeled back the curtain, giving the public new access to her life in California, one dancing video at a time.
If she a baby mama, she gon' do that baby mama.
Look, we're tackling all the big topics this morning.
I quite liked it.
I quite liked it too.
Yeah.
And I'm, like many people, a little bit conflicted when it comes to the Sussexes. I spent a lot of time outside that Montecito gated community covering them after Megxit over in the US. But look, let's bring in royal commentator Victoria Arbiter live in Melbourne to discuss. Victoria, can I ask you, as we just revealed, we both kind of liked the video. I think it was an interesting zag from Meghan and Harry. How's it being received, though, over in the UK?
Good morning to you. Well, I wish I had better news for you, but this has not been well received in the UK. Granted, the couple have a legion of fans, and as far as their fans are concerned, they can absolutely do no wrong. But in terms of the press and the wider public, people have been somewhat horrified. I have to say, when I first saw it, I thought it was AI. I thought there's no way this is real, you know, and in this day and age, you really have to look closely to see if things are authentic. But it's interesting because back in January 2020, following the Sandringham summit, in which the Queen set some pretty firm boundaries about what was going to be possible for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex moving forwards with their life in California. They went with the royal family's blessing. Buckingham Palace released a statement, and in that statement they said that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex had clearly emphasised the fact that they would uphold the values of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. You cut to the newspaper images and it's Meghan with her dress hitched in a squat position, and those don't really align with the values of the late Queen. Now, I think everyone would agree that Harry and Meghan are entitled to have fun. This is a deeply private, personal moment waiting for the birth of your first, second, third child, whatever it is. I don't think anyone would begrudge them that. I just question the wisdom in releasing this to the public.
I don't know. It's just so normal.
I know, for once I actually felt like
on.
Meghan was relatable. A woman that I don't think most women find.
I mean, it's easy
relatable.
for me to say from afar, but I would say get over yourselves. Like, you know,
What, Meghan and Harry?
No,
the UK generally.
The UK press. You know, I'm livid. I'm livid. I mean, the late Queen did used to say, never complain, never explain. I mean, how do you think the King reacts when he sees videos like this?
I suspect the King is rather befuddled, bemused, exasperated. I think the point here I struggle with a little bit is that Harry and Meghan they never said that they wanted total privacy. They just wanted to be in control of what they released to the public. Fair enough, particularly as private citizens that have left the royal family. But for a couple that have been absolutely plagued with negativity and scrutiny on their every move, these types of videos just rather invite further commentary. And that's the part that I find rather confusing, because yes, I think they want attention. Yes, I think you're right. They want to be relatable. They want to be likeable. I think to some degree they're trying to get a reaction from the royal family. That reaction is unlikely to come. But it comes down to branding here, and Meghan has really tried to position herself as a global ambassador for goodwill, somebody who champions women's rights, equality for people all over the world. And this just kind of undermines that. And I'm with you. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it's relatable. But when you're trying to position yourself sort of in this dignified position, this confuses the message.
Talking about branding, Victoria, I mean, the modern monarchy is facing a pretty uncertain future. how do the younger royals play this going forward? Do they maintain that upheld, outstanding image, or do they, do they share a little bit more of themselves? What is the path forward for them?
It's definitely a delicate balance, because if you reveal too much, that kind of blows up the air of mystique that is required. But you have to reveal just enough that is going to make them continue to be relatable. And I think it's definitely been a steep learning curve. Social media has been a learning curve for corporations the world over. And at the end of the day, the institution of monarchy is a business as well. But as I mentioned, it is a fine line, because the royal family are above celebrity. They are not social media influencers, and so they do need to maintain that air of mystique, but they have to reveal just enough that continues to make them appealing. I think William and Kate have done a pretty good job with that. That's not to say there haven't been mistakes. Catherine was criticised recently for a video that she shared that was celebrating nature. There's going to be 3 more of those over the coming year. So it's a constant give and take, but really, ultimately, what you've got to do is make sure that the headlines remain positive and that they promote the work of the monarchy. And that's where
it's
Harry and Meghan struggle.
2025. I mean, it's not the 1800s. Come on. I mean, everyone's using social media. I just feel like we should celebrate people being themselves. And if
they want to be relevant,
so be it. No?
What's
next for the Sussexes? A royal reality show, maybe?
I think some might say they've already done that with their Netflix documentary. We've kind of seen more of the Sussexes than anyone had ever anticipated, particularly for a couple that are quite guarded when it comes to their private lives. I think at this point, the most important thing for the Sussexes is really to surround themselves with a team that has their best interests at heart, not people that are keen to promote themselves or yes men that are just kind of eager to be liked by the Sussexes. On top of that, the Sussexes have to listen, because yes, Clint, I hear you. I understand this is not the 1800s anymore, but as any brand will say, you want to maintain positive headlines, and that is where Harry and Meghan are falling short.
Okay, there you go. I quite like them.
I like them more this week, I got to say. I think we've hammered that home, that we're kind of on board with this. I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall when King Charles first laid eyes on that video. We'll never know his reaction.